Hey, you fucks. Thanks for, checking out the videos, showing a little bit of support. How about you take it to the next level and show us some love over there on Patreon, huh? Huh? Huh?
Yo, 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 what the fuck is up there, everybody out there, YouTube? So it's go by Papa Tico, coming to you. Well, I mean, I'm not really live, but we're premiering it. Hello, everybody in the premiere chat. If you guys just subscribed, we do a premiere every week when we release these videos, so make sure to, come in and you can hang out, and we should be hanging out in the chat right now. Say hi, guys. Tell me what time it is where you are. I'm in the chat, too. Say hello, virtual Papa Teeks. Yeah, anyway, guys, today's every rant, every Papa Tico rant is always a special occasion. But, I don't know. I mean, I got prompted to make this rant because, one, it's raining outside and I don't want to go outside yet. And, so that there's that factor. That's why I'm talking over pre-recorded footage, but also it's just like I'm like you guys. I put my legs on one pants at a time, but but when I do it, I don't make golden records. I make the same records as all you guys. But I don't know. I go on YouTube, right? Like every morning, I'll wake up. I'll play. I'll update my Pokemon Sleep, catch the newest Pokemons. Do my business, get my coffee, sit down, and I usually just recently. I subscribe to a newspaper service, so now, my routine is to wake up early. I try to be old man about it. I'll wake up at, 6 a.m. now, and the newspaper's cool. Newspaper delivery gets to people's houses around, 3 a.m. here in Japan, so it's pretty good. And then I'll get my coffee, wash my face, whatever, and, then I sit down. I'll have the Japanese music playing in the background on low volume while I go through the newspaper. And I'm obviously I'm not. I don't have the mental capacity to read a whole newspaper. That's a lot. Even for me, godlike Thor power Papa Tico, it's just too much. To me to sit down and read a whole newspaper. It would take me all day. But what I like to do is I'll go through each one of the pages and I'll find stories that I want to read because I know that not every story is going to be a banger, right? And so I'll sit down and I'll kind of go through and I'll find at least 3 stories that I really want to read, and then I'll cut them out and I'll put them into my Japanese notebook, and I'll make flashcards out of them. It's not a short process. It takes a little while, but it is rewarding and it's fun. And also, that's the cool thing about getting newspapers or magazines, right? You get to just cut them out, and then you could be all gay high school girly about it and put it into your diary or whatever, your Japanese notebook. So that's fun. But anyway, yeah, while after I do all that, I'll go on YouTube and see if there's any new videos. And, recently I see from the bigger English Japan vloggers and stuff, they always like to jump on trends, they always like to talk about what's going on. And I guess, in a way, it's good for people to notice. If there's an issue or something that, young people don't watch the news. They don't, they don't do boomer style shit like me. And so, where do they get their information? And it's oh, yeah, online, the creators they watch and stuff. And so, but rarely, you see these guys talk about this stuff, but rarely you see them offer solutions or constructive criticism. They just jump on the, oh my God, this is bad, to get polarizing reactions, but they don't offer solutions. And that always kind of iffed me. So, yeah, that's what today's video is about. But anyway, 4-minute point in a video, so let me just do a proper shout out. Anyway, guys, these videos are sponsored by you. I had NordVPN for a while, but then the link expired. I have Epidemic Sound, but if you're not a creator, that doesn't really matter for you. Every time we do a live stream, I'm listening to music from that site, though. So if you want to support local artists or whatever that are not Spotify type people, you can go on there and listen to their music. They've got a pretty good selection, but I don't get money for that. It's just if you guys become a member there and actually sign up, then I get a free month's membership, and which isn't that bad. It's only $15 a month, but but for people that want to make videos and like want to monetize their videos, like that's like one of the best places to go to. And then, but anyway, like, but yeah, like those don't really pay that much, and so I should update my NordVPN link, but. Anyway, I mean, the whole point I'm getting at is that, like, it's funded by you guys. So if you guys like this, if you like these rants, like you like these weekly rants, and you'd like to maybe see more of these, like maybe like 2 shows a week or something, then show me you want to support me by going over to patreon.com/TKOSam. And it's not just throwing money at me. Like, you guys actually get extra awards there. We've got blogs, we've got behind-the-scenes footage, we've got, Japanese lessons for any of you guys who actually are thinking about moving over here at some point, or just wanting to learn Japanese in general, and it's actually like good Japanese lessons where it's actually going to get you fluent versus just some Duolingo bullshit where you get to brag to your friends but you're not actually learning anything. And we offer tours, we offer consultations. It's like all the shit's right there, and the links are down below. So and plus you get your name at the end of these videos, so it's pretty chill. But yeah, anyway, and if you guys don't like Patreon for whatever reason, you can either super chat through YouTube, you can become a member through YouTube and get your name in green. If you guys look over in the premiere chat, there's probably some people with their names in green over there, and yeah, thank you guys so much for that. And if you get your name in green, you get to get access to a special part of my Discord that only those dudes get to access. And yeah, I don't know. It's cool. So anyway, I appreciate each one of you guys, and each one of the donations that happens through that stuff extends the live stream that we do after these premieres. And after each one of my video uploads on YouTube, we usually do a 1-hour live stream to promote the videos. And then after the 1 hour is up, if any of you guys donated, that'll extend the stream. So I don't know. It's a fun way to support the channel and put money back into this stuff to hopefully turn this hobby into a job one of these days. But yeah, anyway, that 3-minute personal spiel is done. And if you guys don't want to donate any money, just smash the like button, dude. Fucking leave a comment, help with the engagement. You know what to do. And YouTube unsubscribed me from a bunch of fucking places this last week, so make sure you're subscribed. And yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, but anyway, let's get into the topic. Let me drink my coffee. Oh, my coffee, why? Hey, you guys like this video, by the way? This video is when I went down to Chiba sometime last year. My friend is an American guy who owns a tiny rice farm in Chiba, and he got a to be fair, you need a car to get there, but he found this great fucking old ass, not abandoned, but it's just it wasn't being used that often by the owner. He found this old ass house, really, really fucking big, and he split the rent with his friends. And so they're only paying I think the rent is $500 a month or something, and they just split it 5 ways. So he's only paying $100 a month, and then him and his friends, they went over there, and they're all DIY guys, so they all customized the house because the owner's I don't care, and the owner is expecting them to buy it at some point. So, but right now they're just renting for fun, and they all do the rice farm there, and it's pretty cool. I haven't bought any of his rice. He gave me some, but yeah, let me, I don't know, I think he already harvested it, but, yeah, if he wants me to promote his rice business, then, I'll advertise it at some point here. Yeah, you gotta help out your friends, man. I don't even know if it's the most tasty rice ever, but, I don't know, that's the thing. It's my friend's, if my friend's girlfriend has an OnlyFans or something, I won't subscribe. But, if she has, a Patreon, I'll go over and, give $1 or something, that's what I do with a lot of creators here. It's just, if I like their stuff, I don't really care about the bonus content. I just want them... I want, them to be able to be oh, I have this amount of patrons or whatever. And it's fun, It's fun to go do that and support people. But, yeah, it's, it's one of those things where my friend was, she did like a live house concert or whatever, and it was a day after I was like the same day that I was really tired. I had just gotten off work, and it's just like, yeah, and everyone's standing up, and I'm like, motherfucker, I've been standing up like half the day, like I don't want and then I'm already tired, and your band doesn't come on for another like 2 or 3 hours, and I'm like, fuck this. Like you know, I know that she wanted me to be there physically to like enjoy the music, but I was like, you got, you know, I got you your I bought your concert ticket anyway, you know. Maybe I should just buy the merch. Maybe that helps more. Yeah, I always think about when I'm supporting other creators, like, do you pay for the merch, or like, you know, because the merch, like, most of the people don't make any money off of merch, so it's like, just pay them directly. Like, if they have a PayPal link or something, just donate directly in PayPal instead of like YouTube or Patreon. They don't take as big of a cut, but yeah, I don't know. I'm always thinking about that. And it's like, okay, what's the place where I can send you where you'll get the biggest cut? And then I just send it like that. So, yup. But anyway, yeah, I need to make Tikyo merch eventually. I've been thinking about doing that for years. I've just been kind of lazy about it. I don't think the numbers justify making merch yet. I just want to get some mugs, but not regular coffee mugs. Like, I want to get a giant fucking coffee mug and have that. Like, I want everything to be really unique, you know? Like, yeah, like have a coffee mug, but instead of just a regular size tiny Japanese coffee mug, I wanted to be some big ass fucking coffee mug, you know. It's something that sticks out from the crowd, you know. Like, instead of like having a like just like a beanie or like a shirt with a little logo, like, you sell bandanas, you know. Like, how many other fucking people sell bandanas? And if you notice, like, yeah, the bandana is it's on the bike right now, right? It's blowing in the wind. And this old guy came up to me one time, and he's like, "Are you in a gang?" And I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "Your gloves are red and your bandana is red, and like that's to show off your gang colors, right?" And this is in Japan. And I'm like, "What?" No, dude, like, I'm wearing the bandana for, I guess, fashion, but also because I sweat a lot. Like, that's the whole reason I started wearing bandanas, is because I sweat a lot from my head. And so, like, you know, when I put the bandana on the bike, that dries the bandana. Like, the bandana is like, it's not super soaked, but yeah, it's like it's uncomfortable enough that, like, yeah, when I'm on the bike, I get to dry it. So, but he's like, "Oh, okay," and I'm like, I don't know. For all of you guys in the premiere chat and people in the comment section, like, is that a thing in America or something? Like, if you're in a gang, you like put your bandana, like your gang colors on the bike? I've never heard of that. So I don't know. Maybe that guy must have gotten that from a movie or something. But I was just like, I'm just doing that to dry off the fucking bandana. It's just covered in sweat, you know? But anyway, yeah, let's get into the main meat and potatoes here. So, like, I saw this Abroad Japan video today, and he was just, again, he's talking about all of these fucking, like, you know, all this, like, tourism shit that's going on right now. But he didn't give any solutions to it, you know? He was just, like, kind of poking fun at it and being all grifty about it, which is fine, you know? Like, when you get to that level where you get noticed almost everywhere you go, especially in a land full of tourists right now, it's easier to make videos inside than outside, right? Especially if you want the clicks. And so I get it. But again, like, I wish he would offer, like, you know, like him, PewDiePie, all of these bigger YouTubers, like the Anime Man and stuff, they're talking about this stuff, but they're not offering solutions or, like, suggestions for this stuff, you know? And if you guys are viewers of those dudes and you think I'm wrong, feel free to tell me. Because I don't watch them that closely, but yeah, because, like, I remember I was talking to John Daub about this, and he's like, I don't watch other Japan creators, and I'm like, I don't watch other Japan creators religiously or whatever, but if they're talking about a topic I'm interested in, then I'll check out the video, because I want to hear their take on it, you know? And yeah, look at me patting spaghetti, because he's such a good boy. Love my spaghettums. And I just realized I have a sticker on there from Top Gun. I don't think that sticker's there anymore. It's like a fake bullet hole sticker. Oh, that was so cool. Go Top Gun. But yeah, so anyway, one of the things they were talking about is like, so here, I'm looking at this right here. So, like, Abroad Japan was talking about how these some businesses in Japan kind of went viral because they had, like, a posting saying, if you can't speak Japanese, don't come in here. We don't speak English or whatever. And, you know, people, it's what always happens. People get angry on Twitter, but there's no real repercussions or whatever, right? And Yeah, I always and so it's like, of course nothing's coming of it. It's just people blowing hot air and all this shit, right? And but anyway, like people are complaining about the owner, and even like Japanese people are complaining about the owner of this one place. And I think it was probably in like from what Abroad Japan was implying, it might be in Omoide Yokocho, which is like in West Tokyo, and it's like this tiny little alleyway with like a lot of fucking food, and it's just shitty food. It's like it's not good quality, and it's way overpriced. And yeah, it's just become a tourist trap. It used to be one of those places where people would go after work, and it was dirty, so not a lot of people wanted to go there, so you could kind of get some privacy and get away from the normal crowds. But then it just kind of evolved into some tourist trap where, you know, people took enough pictures of it on Instagram, and now it's just basically like 80 to 90% tourists. Same thing with Golden Guy. And, you know, part of me hates it, but at the same time, you got to remember that during, like, Corona and shit, especially in Golden Guy, like, one of my favorite places in all of Tokyo, during Corona, not a lot of Japanese people checked out these places. And so, I mean, like, and these places are usually funded by the locals, like, the people that come in all the time, right? And, so in a way, like, you know, I don't really mind it, because if the tourists come in and they promote it so more people keep paying, then I don't mind. Like, you know, I think that's a good thing, because, you know, it's better to have customers than no customers, right? And if the money keeps those places afloat for a while, because, like, you got to remember, like, Japanese politicians and shit, they've been trying to close down Golden Guy for a while. They think it's mezawari, you know, like, they think it's like it's not a good promotion of Japanese society and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, it's just fucking lame. But, yeah, anyway, the guy that Abroad in Japan was talking about, he's like, yeah, like, the guy was really rude, and he told us if we don't speak English, or if we don't know Japanese, that we need to get out of there, and blah, 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 blah. And, I don't know, I think that there's a difference between racism, which is like, oh, you looked at a white woman, we're going to hang you in a tree now till you die, versus being like, oh, you don't speak our language? Well, this is a busy place, and you don't even know how to use your fucking translator app, and I don't have time. There's a bunch of other customers, and I appreciate that you want to come here, but I don't have time to deal with this. And most of the foreign customers, like, they were also complaining about how a lot of foreign customers don't spend a lot of money, and so, like, they'll come to a place for like an hour or two and not spend that much money. And like so, like, that's a rule with me. I don't do it with all the places, but, like, especially in Golden Guy, like, if I go to Deathmatch in Hell or something, and I know I'm not gonna be there for more than like 30 minutes or an hour, like, I always, the like Deathmatch in Hell, all of their drinks are 666. And so it's like only 600 yen, but, like, I'll give the owner, I'll give him like 1,000 yen. I'll be like, I don't need the change, like, just keep it, because I know that, like, you know, even though he's a popular bar and stuff, like, people don't understand that in Golden Guy they charge a cover charge, because most people, like, you know, they'll stay there for like an hour or two and only spend like $10. So at least with the cover charge, at least they get $20 instead of that $10. And a lot of people want to complain about that. But, like, that's I mean, it's one of those things where if you just fucking stopped complaining for 5 seconds and actually understood the reasoning why, like, sometimes in Japan there's not reason behind some of the things they do. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's just tradition. We've been doing it forever. But it's like with izakayas and bars, like, they have that cover charge system for a reason. It's just basically to keep broke ass motherfuckers out of there, you know, save some room for the, like, actual paying customers kind of thing that appreciate them more. And so, like, I don't really mind that too much. And, like, I've seen, thanks to just being in Shinjuku and seeing all the fucking tourists around here, like, they'll use this Google Translation app, which isn't that bad, you know, it works for the most part, but, like, waiting for it to load up and everything, and it's just like, it seems like it's a 3 to 5 times longer conversation that it should be, versus just bringing a Japanese friend with you and just having them do the ordering and stuff. And you know, like, that's the I don't know. I mean, like, that's one of the nice things about, like, that I like to, like, you know, contribute to when my foreign friends are visiting Japan. It's like, oh, okay, like, they don't need to worry about if we go somewhere that doesn't really want like foreigners because of the translation bullshit. You know, like I can go there, I can put the waiter's mind at ease or whatever, and I can just order quickly and stuff. So, you know, but I think a lot of foreigners, or like a lot of foreigners visiting Japan, they're tired, they're lazy, they don't want to fucking actually go out and make friends, and like I think that's the big problem. At least from my point of view, it's that like if you're saying like I don't think of Japan as Disneyland, I think of it as something blah 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 blah. It's like, well, did you go out of your way to make friends here or not? Because if you make friends of a local, it's going to be a lot easier to get things done. And it's not going to be like Thailand or something where like they just want to use you for money, which you're going to get a lot of in Bangkok, you know. But yeah, from what Scott Mallon, American in Bangkok, has said about making Thai dude friends. And so, you know, like, but in Japan, there's so many apps. You can go on Hello Friends, you go on Tinder, Grindr, whatever. Like, there's plenty of ways to make some friends before you come over here, so that you've got like somebody on the ground to talk to. And I think like probably 90% or more of people that visit Japan, they don't do it. They don't care. Like they come here with a group of other fucking Western friends, and then they want to see Japan from this sparkly Disneyland point of view. And like, hey, I'm guilty of that too. You know, I did that too when I first came here. Well, not the first time, but the second and third time I came here, I did that. So I get it. But hey, wait, to be fair though, the second and third time we did have Japanese friends that were meeting us on the ground though, that wanted to show us around and stuff. So that was cool. So we did go out of our way. We had back then there was a website called Japan Zone or Hiragana Friends or something, and like, yeah, we made friends thanks to that online. It was kind of like a MySpace kind of thing, but for Japan and Japanese people in English meeting foreigners, and that was cool. But I bet there's something like that now. I mean, I haven't looked it up in a while, but they've got, is Lang 8 still a thing? Is that website still a thing? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, there's ways to make friends, and I hate it when people come over here and they just want to claim racism, especially white people, especially white liberal people, especially white gated community people. I don't know. I do have a chip on my shoulder about growing up like poor and in public housing, because it's like, you know, when you're poor, you don't have time for bullshit, you know. And I think you know, you get the white people coming over here and they're like, oh my god, they experience like a sprinkle of racism for the first time, and they're like, oh my god, my oh god, my memories, you know. It's just like I was in Golden Guy, and I was sitting at a bar, and I heard these there's these older people. They were probably like, I think mid 40s or something, you know. It was a white couple, and they were with their friends, but it was just the white couple talking, and they were telling the bartender that it's like, yeah, we experienced racism, and like, I don't know, I kind of like, I eavesdropped, and they were like, yeah, we went to this like I don't know, like a department store or something. Like, it had tax-free shit, right? And the person was over here for like a temporary job. I guess they have visas that are like, if you want to come over to work for like a month or 3 months or whatever, they have like temporary work visas now. And I didn't know that was for like regular jobs. They have that for modeling and like entertainment jobs, but this person wasn't doing modeling or something. They were like hired by their company to go over and like research another company or something. And so they're just visiting and shit, right? And I don't know, they were Australian, but they grew like they were living in America. So I wasn't listening to the whole conversation, but they basically, like, the older white chick was like, well, we went to a department shop, and they were like, show me your passport so you can get this for duty free. And she's like, but I have a Gaijin card, like, you know, I can't get the duty-free stuff. I don't have my passport. And they said I have to go to a different line. And I was like, just because I'm white, you assume I'm a tourist? And I'm like, lady, you don't even speak Japanese. Like, what the fuck? And it's like, I don't know. It brought me back to the video I made with Cats a long time ago called Racism in Japan. And basically, like, the TLDR of that video. If you guys remind me in the comment section or in the chat to post the link to that video, be like, Dad, post the link to the comment to the racism video, remind me, and I'll put that down in the comment section so you guys can check it out later. But yeah, in that video, basically the TLDR is that racism's everywhere in the world. But if you go and actively look for it, you will find it, but you're not going to be happy about it, you know? And so it's like, I think when people are looking for racism, they go and find it. And I don't know, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're looking for a fight, you're going to go find one. But if you just chill about stuff, or if you're like frustrated, like, I get it. If you're stressed or pissed off about something else that's happening right now, like in your life or something, and like, you know, this one thing like kind of sets you off. Like, I mean, it's it was a white chick, so probably Karen, right? It was a Karen moment right there. But it's like, I need to talk to your manager. It's ma'am. But yeah, I mean, like, it's just like this older white woman is giving some poor Japanese clerk, like, you know, the business, just and like the clerk's just like, he gets probably a shit ton of tourists, so that's why that was his response. And the lady doesn't speak Japanese, so it's like, but anyway, I don't know. It's just like, I think, but also I probably went through a phase like that. Maybe I can't really recall, but probably I went through a phase like that when I first came to Japan. But I don't know, man. It's like, it's your outlook on life is the most important thing, right? Like, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control your reaction. And for me, it's like, I've worked I could tell that lady has never worked a retail job, because I don't know. I've worked construction, I've worked fast food, I've worked retail, I've worked in the tech industry and stuff. Like, I've worked with, like, where you had to work with customers and stuff directly. And most people are retarded. Most people are fucking retarded, angry, entitled, just pieces of shit. And so when you realize that, you become a lot more chill, because you're like, okay, like, when you meet a nice person, it's actually a pleasant surprise and it's cool. But so it's like, if you realize that, like, if you think most people are pieces of shit, then you learn to chill and like just kind of cope with it. You're like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. It don't matter. As long as this person doesn't physically assault me or try to get me arrested, I don't mind, like, it doesn't matter. And so, but yeah, anyway, so it's just like, I don't know. I was just thinking about how it's like that person went out of their way to like find racism. And when I think about people that are like, oh, but this shop won't let me in, this shop won't let me come in there, and I'm like, so what? Bring a Japanese friend next time. Like, think of it as a challenge. Think of it, but it's not right, man. It's not right. Oh, so you're gonna go to Congo and go and free all those slaves that are digging up all those fucking lithium batteries because it's not right? Those people that are dying in mines and shit. What about all those children fucking dying of dirty water and shit in Africa? Or other third world places. You're gonna go fucking deal with that, right? Because unlike your customer service issue, those people are dying. You want to like help people, right? And like the best way to help people, like the biggest thing you can do is help save lives. So you're gonna go and do that, right? No, but it's like comparing apples and oranges. It's not the same thing. And I'm like, dude, if you're not fucking saving people's lives, then shut the fuck up, Just shut the... to quote my very good friend Jim, Kid Shoryuken, and Mad Panic Gaming, shut up, bitch. Yeah, the guys in the premiere chat, can we get a shut up, bitch? Shut up, bitch. Yeah, for all of you guys in the comment section, too, type in Jim, to quote a great man, shut up, bitch. Yep, there we go. But yeah, I'm just like, it's like, okay, the solution is simple. Get a Japanese friend, go with them. If you don't speak the language, go with them. And if you do speak the language and they still don't let you in, fuck them. Don't give them your business. There's literally millions of other businesses out there that will let you go give them your money for a similar thing. It's not a big deal. This isn't fucking like go to the back of the kitchen to order food, you darky. It's not like that, and stop trying to make it like that. And I was talking to that couple for like a little bit after that. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't help but hear your conversation. And she's like, yeah, and she's like, it's hard for us to get an apartment and like even a temporary apartment because I'm a foreigner. And I'm like, well, you don't speak Japanese, and like you don't really know. Like I was like, they separate trash here too. And she's like, well, I heard about it, but I'm like, well, I was like, there's a lot of subtle rules that like you're gonna have to learn and stuff if you want to be here more, like, longer than like a couple months or something. And she's like, and her husband's like, but yeah, mate, that's fucking racist, and he's all saying that like he's like, if you go to some place and they say, you can't rent here because you're a foreigner. How does that make you feel? You've been here for, and they're like, how long you been here? And I'm like, yeah, about like over 15 years or something. He's like, you've been here for 15 years. You speak Japanese, right? And he's like, yeah, what are you? What visa are you on? Permanent resident. Permanent resident, right? You get all that, and you still talk to the owner, and they let you down. Then and they say no. What would you do? And I'm like, I would just go and get another fucking apartment somewhere else. And he's like, don't you find that a little bit racist? Just a bit? And I was like, my friend is married to a manga artist. My American friend, his wife is Japanese, and she's a manga artist, and she's not popular at all. She's very what do you call it? Like she's just kind of starting out, you know. They don't have any kids or anything, but you know, he's just an English teacher, right? But she couldn't get an apartment. Like, you know, they couldn't find an apartment because she's just a manga artist. And even when she had a Japanese boyfriend and she was a manga artist, they wouldn't let her fucking rent an apartment because her rent was shitty. And so, like, even though she's Japanese, she got discriminated against. And when you think about it, the population of Japanese people is a lot bigger than the foreign population. So it's like, when you give me this bullshit about how foreigners are discriminated against, and then you totally just fucking distract from the fact that Japanese people get the same type of discrimination, then you're just grifting, you know. You're just getting angry for the sake of getting angry. So anyway, that example story was got drawn on a lot, but I'm just saying, like, you got to remember, life is unfair. You're gonna get things where it's unfair, and bad people that don't deserve that stuff, like the Enron CEOs and shit that buy $22,000 umbrella stands and shit. Like, those people are always gonna be around. It's always gonna be a corrupt system, but it's just like, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, be grateful that you're above ground, kind of thing, you know? You can still strive for bigger things, but just remember, like, don't forget to be grateful about the small things, right? And so, talking about solutions, right? Like, what if some place that you really want to go to says no foreigners? Go back with a Japanese person. But that's not the way I want to do it. Well, too fucking bad then. Learn Japanese and become a Japanese citizen, and fucking and then, like, sue the onsen or something. Do it that way, you know? You big fucking dumbass. Yeah, so, like, that's my solution for that. You might not like it, but feel free to tell me a different solution then. How about you just how about you legally become Japanese and become a politician and try to change the law, huh? Yeah, you're not gonna do that? Shut the fuck up. Shut up, bitch. Yeah, and so, I don't know, like, for example, like, all these, like, one of my buddies, Juan. You guys have seen him in my videos before. My buddy Juan, he hates other foreigners. He is like, he doesn't even speak Japanese that well, and he's just so anti-foreigner. He's like, he's super gatekeepy. He's like, this is my Japan. My name's Juan. I'm a white guy. I'm Juan. And so, you know, and he's like, all these fucking foreigners are going to the places that I like to go to now. Like, he loves to go to Asakusa. He doesn't even live in Asakusa, but he likes to go. And I'm like, why do you fucking go here so much? He's like, I don't know. I really love Sensoji. And I'm like, you have temples around you. And he's like, yeah, but Sensoji's like, oh, you know, they got the food in there. I don't know. Here, hold on. Coffee. Yeah, so it's like a lot of these places got super touristy because of influencers, right? Like, a lot of influencers, they go on TikTok or Instagram and they promote these places so more people go there. And, like, these people aren't even getting hired to promote these places, right? So, like, one solution for the Japanese government, I think, is just hire those same influencers. Like, make a group of, like, 100. Make a budget for, like, 100 of them that, like, had a bunch of viral videos. And then send them to places that need tourism, and not just like what do you call it? Like, not just like promote the place, but also make stuff, if you don't already have it in English, make it easier for foreigners to go there. And I know some people are probably like acting like this is kind of like Alaska, being like, don't promote this place. We don't need any more of them Californians coming over here and taking our land and taking our gerbs or whatever. But rural Japan needs money, and there's this guy called Shu Matsudo, and his whole channel is promoting empty houses in Japan that have been abandoned, that haven't been torn down, because it costs money. It costs like 30 grand to tear down a house, even if you're not going to live it. So people just pay the tax on it or whatever every year, and then they just kind of abandon it. Or the government, they stop paying taxes. The government seizes it, but then the government's not going to spend the money to crush it either. So, but yeah, he promotes like buying those empty houses, and there's over like 8 million of them in Japan, and it's like holy fuck. So. And all these people are like, oh no, you're going to make more foreigners come to Japan and they're going to buy up all the land. And I'm like, well, if it's in a countryside area that has a low population, like, fuck it, bring people of money. That means people of money, people of know-how, revitalize those towns. I mean, like, Japan's not doing anything with that shit right now. So it's one of those things where it's like, well, if you're not doing anything with it, let somebody else do something with it. Maybe it'll help the other people that need stuff to happen with it. Who knows, right? And so, yeah, like that would be my suggestion to getting more tourism, more of that tourism money to all these different places. And like, God, who the fuck? I don't remember who I was talking to, but they were like, tourism's only 2% of the national GDP. And I'm like, yeah, but still, like tourism money, tourism dollars that are going into tourism dollars that are going into the industry. Like, tourism's great for the tourism industry, right? So like all these businesses that weren't making a lot of money and weren't paying a lot of taxes because they weren't making a lot of money, now they're making tax revenue. They're making money for themselves. They're growing businesses, which means that maybe they'll expand and make more money for the country, or they'll like encourage competition and more businesses will come out of it. Like, it's not a bad thing, Like Japan, it's been a while since they made the fucking VCR or the CD player. Like Japan needs to get on their shit and make the next like flying car or like AI hologram Tupac girlfriend or make a Gundam. I really hope they make a Gundam at some point. I think Japan, if they want to get out of the tourism industry, they should start making weapons. Like Japanese, like come on, Japan is the place where they have like all these different fucking animes and stuff showing off all this cool technology. Like make a Gundam, dude. I really want them to make a Gundam. I'm not even a big Gundam fan. Like if you ask me, like, oh yeah, well what happens in Gundam Seed episode 22? I'm like, I don't know, some guy in the robot battle that happens and somebody dies in Palestine or something. They're like, yep, there you go, and But yeah, I mean, like that would be cool. Like Japan's not gonna get their technology, boosted up yet. Like China comes over, they hack the servers, they steal everything and reverse engineer it, and then make their own version without any repercussions. Like Japan's not gonna do that. So in the meantime, while they're figuring it out, just fucking get that money from tourism, right? So yeah, send those influencers that made viral videos to the other parts of the country and make it easier for foreigners to get there too. Like, try to streamline the process so it's easier for foreigners to get there, to pump money into that town, And besides, like, people in rural towns, like, I don't think, like, it's not like America where they're like, what are you doing? It's not like fucking Russell Crowe and Romper Stomper strangling the Vietnamese guy being like, what are you doing in our country? No, don't do it, Russell Crowe. Stop, no. Don't breaks the guy's neck with a chain. Yeah, it's not like that. I think like people in rural, like it's all about, to quote PewDiePie, it's all about that respect, right? Like if you come in and you're willing to be kind of on the same level of Japanese people vibe wise, and just don't like Japanese people are really calm. They're really calm and reserved. So when you come in there and you just start ooga boogling it up and be like, I'm a foreigner, woohoo, like they get a little scared, they scamper. They're like groundhogs or something. Eagle. And so like I went to this supermarket the other day, and there was this lady there, and she was like obviously from like maybe Vietnam or something. I don't know. Like she was not speaking Chinese or like Mandarin or Cantonese, so it might have been from Vietnam or something. But she like went to the register, and like the guy spoke to her in Japanese because he thought like she's an Asian woman in Japan, she probably speaks Japanese, they thought, but no. And so but the guy at the register is Chinese, but she bowed and like gave him the money, and I'm like, lady, I appreciate you I appreciate you wanting to to help or whatever, you know, like wanting to respect. I mean, like that's good though. Like going out of your way, like that was totally not necessary. They don't expect you to bow at the supermarket, but at least the lady was trying, right? And I think, like, you know, learning a couple phrases or words goes a long way in Japan. Like, Japanese people just want to know that you're trying. They don't care they don't expect you to speak fluent Japanese, but they want you to be able to try. And I think one of the cool things about being in Japan with me and, like, the way that I dress and the way that I act and stuff is that, like, when Japanese people see me, they assume that I don't speak Japanese. But when I do, and I speak Japanese fluently, and, like, I'm chill and I'm not trying to impress, like, I'm not insecure being like, validate me, please. Like, people are really chill. They, like, appreciate it, you know? And, yeah, like, which brings me up to, like, the next topic, which is, like, I saw this viral video this week on Twitter, and the story behind the video was that this British tour guide, I mean, like, again, I don't know how true this is. It's just what it said on Twitter. This British tour guide was in charge of this, like, tour group, right? And is based in Kyoto, and it was late at night, and he was bringing this tour group to a temple, and one of the guys in the tour group was like, he went all willy-nilly, they have these bells that are attached to ropes at the shrine, and you shake it a little bit, and then you clap your hands and you pray and you donate some money or whatever. And this one foreigner was just swinging on it, not like Tarzan, but he was just swinging like autistic guy at Disneyland, saying, I love you, Mickey. You know, it's like, it was something like that, right? And so, and like, you know, the guy apparently apologized, but it didn't seem sincere or whatever. And so this Japanese woman confronted him. She's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to record this shit. And she confronted him, and she's like, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you controlling your tour? Like, you're a tour guide, I'm guessing. Like, why aren't you controlling the people in your tour group? And, you know, the tour people are like, hey, leave us alone, leave us alone. And he keeps talking to her in English, even though he speaks Japanese. And then, like, finally she says, like, omae, and she's like, you know, omae wa nihongo shaberu n janai ka yo. She's like, don't you speak Japanese? And the guy's like, he's like, hey, you fucking, because, like, omae is basically saying, like, oh, like, you know, the equivalent in English of being like, hey, fucker. You know, it can be with love or hate, but usually in a formal setting, or when you're being polite, you don't use that, right? And so, and this guy, his accent's not that bad or whatever, but, like, he basically takes the foreigner's sides, and he's like, I'm not engaging with this woman. He's like, I'm on the side of my clients or whatever. And I don't know, it went to show that, like, the guy didn't really give a shit about the Japan side of this stuff. Like, he cared more, like, he was caring more about how his clients felt versus how he's representing his company. And that's the thing that I think a lot of Japanese people would understand. It's like, that's why Japanese people overly apologize and look like little bitches sometimes when shit like this hits the fan. Because if you're being overly nice and overly apologetic, then if somebody tries to spin that in a way, then it's like, nah, they seem pretty apologetic. Like, they went out of their way to show humility. So, like, it kind of goes back on the person being an asshole instead. And it's a nice strategy. It works most of the time. But this guy was just like, yeah, fuck you, bitch. Get out of here. Kind of like, he was giving her that kind of attitude. Like, yeah, fuck off, you know, entitled cunt kind of thing. And, you know, like, if he had really been, he said that he'd been in Japan for 8 years and stuff, but, and, like, he spoke Japanese or something, but it's just like, from my eyes, if that guy really understood Japanese culture or Japanese society, he wouldn't have reacted that way, because he would have known that his company was going to get some blowback. And his company did get blowback. They doxed the company and all this shit, and they were trying to get the guy fired and stuff, and it's just like, I think that a normal Japanese person with their head screwed on tight enough, you know, would have known to say, like, to apologize and shit. I mean, and don't get it wrong, like, Japanese people act fucking stupid and shit all the time too. You know, it's a numbers game, right? But it's just, when you're a foreigner, you got to remember that they're gonna put you under a lens. You know, they're gonna they want an excuse to fucking flip out, and so that's why it's really good to make those Japanese friends, to not hang around foreigners that much, because then at least when you stop hanging out with Japanese people as much, you're going to still understand where they're coming from. You can empathize with them and see shit from their point of view. And you got to remember, like, you're in their country, right? And especially if you're doing a job where your whole job is teaching people about the country, and then you're like, yeah, whatever, shut up, bitch. Then it's you might not give a shit about yourself, but your company will definitely give a shit, and they're the ones that are responsible for you. So, take that with be more careful when you go outside. You represent your company, right? And some people are like entitled little fucking dumbass. It doesn't matter, I'm a person. I'm like, fucking grow up, you little bitch. Everybody has a boss. Even if like everyone has a boss. You think you don't have a boss, but everyone's always got a boss they gotta talk to. And anyway, so yeah, that's my with my suggestion with that, it's like, if you ever have something like that happen, just be overly apologetic and say you're sorry, and like try to use the Japanese. Like, I don't think a lot of Japanese people confront you unless they're truly pissed off, and I think you'll be able to tell. If you'll be able to tell. I think it's like that uncanny valley thing where it's like, is this person genuinely pissed off at me, or are they just crazy, like trying to stab me on the subway kind of thing, So you just got to use your judgment and act accordingly. Yeah, and I think also, like, there was stupid shit like in Kyoto, right? Like they were complaining on Japanese TV how like there was a lot of trash on the ground. But then also in Kyoto, they made new trash cans, but it's obviously not enough, right? And, like, if you're dealing with only a certain, like, small amount of foreigners, then, yeah, they're going to follow the rules. But if you're dealing with all these people that are only going to be here for a week or two, and they're already coming from these shit fucking, like, just underdeveloped, shitty Philadelphia-style countries or whatever, right? Then, like, they're just going to litter. They don't care. And, like, the Japanese government, I heard a while ago that Japanese government, they got rid of trash cans because they want to, they're afraid of I guess, like, terrorism, like people putting bombs in trash cans or something. And so that's the reason why they don't have trash cans that much anymore. But, like, for heavy tourist areas, you should fucking just make more trash cans, dude. Like Kyoto, I never really liked Kyoto. I went to Kyoto a handful of times, and Kyoto is this town that has a big chip on their shoulder. They're like, oh yeah, we're so much better than Osaka. And but it's like Kyoto heavily relies on tourism. If they didn't have tourism, that town would fucking die, And so it's like, to say we hate tourists while not doing anything to make it easier for tourists. Like, some locals were saying on the news that it's hard to get to work if they're using the bus because the bus system is so crowded with foreigners. So what do? You just make more buses. Like, you get more buses, you get more drivers. Like, you just figure it out. How do we do it? I don't care. Figure it out. The buses are too crowded. Get more buses. There you go. Like in Shinagawa, to go to immigration, a bus comes every fucking 5 to 10 minutes. Why? And that's 2 buses too, and the reason why is because there's always a bunch of people going over there, So it's like modern day problems require modern day solutions. Same thing. Oh, there's too much trash on the street. Get more fucking trash cans. But just shut up. We need more people to pick up the garbage men to pick up the trash. Okay, go do it. But I don't like that solution. Well, too bad. That it works. Just go do it. Stop thinking so much. Do that until you think of a better solution. But right now, do that. And same thing too. It's like I saw this viral video, this fat older white lady, and she's like, she's following this geisha, and this geisha's just trying to walk down the street, and all these tourists are just looking at her and stuff, and this white woman's just harassing her, and there's a sign right in front of all of them that says no pictures, 10,000 yen fine. And I don't know, man. Like, I think that Japan, I'm not worried too much because Japan will eventually deal with it, but like the thing is that a lot of people that are here, they understand that Japan is pretty safe, Like just a week or two ago, these Cambodians went into a solar farm and they stole $30,000 worth of copper wiring because people don't steal shit from solar farms here, So like they didn't have any high security barbed wire kind of shit. And so people took advantage of Japan being nice and not having like big consequences for doing shit stuff, you know? Fucking that piece of shit whose name I won't say, who fucking said that Hiroshima Nagasaki shit. That guy got kicked out of the country, but he's still, you know, like he didn't get a heavy fine. It's like, well, he got 3 months in jail, and I'm like, that's hard, you know, like, but he knows a lot about Sean Connery, you know, that's hardly a substitute. You know, it's like, if that guy can get away with saying such shit stuff and causing so many fucking problems and stuff, what do you think is going to matter about some white woman who made a woman dressed like a geisha feel uncomfortable for a minute, you know? There's no consequences. So, eventually, Japan's just going to wait for it to go away, which Japan usually does, or they might go full Singapore, where it's like, you spit on the ground, we're going to fucking take you to the police station and then cane you. We're going to give you 50 lashing, you silly piece of shit. I'm calling my embassy. Good, do it. They know what we're doing, you know. Just try to complain, you know. So, I don't know. I mean, like, Japan's Geneva Convention, something, whatever, but, you know, I don't know. Like, I would totally before being like, okay, you either pay a $5,000 fine for harassing this person. I can't pay that. Okay, 50 lashings in the public. You know, like it's not that hard to follow the rules, but if you give people just shitty little fucking, you know, like if you let them get away with stuff, they're gonna get away with it, you know, and like the whole world basically, like that's how criminals get around. Like they find places where bureaucrats or like police or whatever are lazy, and then they exploit it until they get found out, and then they fucking move on to the next thing, right? I mean, same thing kind of with tourists, right? Like they see how you give them a foot, then they take a mile until you fucking do something about it, and then usually it's just some awkward scene, and then they just let them go, right? You know, so it's like if other people see there's no consequences, then people are going to copy them. I mean, you know, like that's one of the things I learned from being a teacher. Like if you have one kid being bad, and you don't punish them adequately enough, then the other kids are going to copy them. So the best thing to do is just fucking, you know, either get rid of the, punish the student and see if they fucking, you know, if they actually shape up, and if they don't, kick them out of the class, like out of sight, out of mind kind of thing, you know. For Japan, that would be the thing where it's like, okay, pay a heavy fine, and next time you don't get to come back or not. And it's like, well, what happens to all those tourism dollars then? Well, it's like, well, you keep enforcing the strict stuff, and so more people come, and like hell, probably the news of you enforcing strict stuff is probably going to entice more people to come here. And then, you know, like, fuck, I don't know. I mean, like, Japan has a lot of people in their detention centers that are waiting to be deported just because Japan doesn't want to pay the bill to fucking fly them, you know? Like, that's like, what, like $2,000 to $5,000 or something to fly somebody one way out of the country last minute. So they're like, maybe it's just cheaper to feed this guy for like a year until their embassy coughs up the cash to pay or whatever. But I don't want Japan to become kind of like, what do you call it? What's the word? Argonian? No, that's oblivion. Dystopian, nah. Totalitarian, I don't know. I don't want Japan to be like super harsh and stuff, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you gotta, like, I think people complaining about Logan Paul taking a video of a dead person, I think I don't think that's tasteful. But I mean, he did call an ambulance. He did call the police to come, and I mean, like you see that in the video. He called the police to come, and like he followed the right steps. Was it classy for him to exploit that person's death? No, but like people die there all the time. Japan's not doing anything to stop it. At least that put some eyes on it, and plus it fed a lot of other fucking grifty ass YouTubers for a couple months after that. They got to virtue signal and complain about him, and then they're like, oh, but Logan Paul put a fish on a fucking taxi. It's like, yeah, that's not nice. But, I mean, that same week, this guy, he kidnapped a woman and then fucking forced her to take meth. And then he raped her a bunch of times. And everyone's like, and it's like, well, there's potatoes and oranges. And I'm like, nah, dude. Like, if you're going to get, like, the worst thing that pisses me off about all this is that you have this anger. You have this energy to actually make a difference and change something. But you just want to go and bully somebody who you don't like. And I get it. You got anger, you're frustrated with your life, and you don't like people taking advantage of the country that you love, that you wish you could go to, but you can't go to for whatever reason, right? But at the same time, it's like, if you're gonna get angry at something, do it to make a difference. Like, like fucking, like, bring to light this stuff, like, you go to the fucking actually save somebody's life, you could go somewhere, fucking even if you don't want to go abroad, like, there's homeless shelters around, fucking go help some people, hell, even Oriental Pearl's doing fucking videos now where she's gonna start promoting like humanitarian shit in Japan. And like, when was the last time you saw fucking abroad in Japan or any of these other big guys be like, oh yeah, homelessness is an issue in Japan, please donate to this stuff. It's like, nah, this is eye surgery something thing. It's a tax write-off, woot, like, you can actually make a difference, guys. And a lot of people think they can't, but you can. So, I don't know, just, like, it's okay to be angry, but look at the bigger picture here, fucking, like in Japan, if you are rich enough, you can get away with rape. Like, it's been proven. Like, I remember I saw this news story. This guy, a rich grandson of this dude who was he owned a bunch of properties or whatever in Tokyo. This guy had raped 6 women, and each time they just settled out of court. And it's like, that guy should have been fucking posted all over the internet, doxxed, fucking like made his life miserable. Like, that should have gotten some public beach justice. But nah, it's like, let's get angry at Logan Paul. Dude, Logan Paul, he's got Prime. He's a pro wrestler. He's got millions, dude. He's probably got multi fucking millions. I don't know if billions, but he's definitely made a lot of fucking money. So it's like, you know what? Like, Logan Paul, no matter if you hate him or whatever, let's try to find like people who actually deserve it, Like, let's actually put something together. Like it always pissed me off during the Black Lives Matter protests here when I'm like, black people are not discriminated against nearly as much as fucking Vietnamese and other Southeast Asians. Those are the ones that are actually getting beat for doing slave labor, Like, you fucking entitled pieces of shit, But everyone's like, yeah, it's like pick your battles kind of thing, right? So, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, it just, at the end of the day, it is pick your battles, but also realize that this shit isn't changing anytime soon. So just prepare. Like when I went to immigration or like any kind of fucking city hall thing or whatever, like, I look up online what I need to prepare for before I go there, and then I'll purposely get like multiple files, paper clips, different fucking, like, I'll separate the groups of paperwork into their individual things, and I'll make it as organized as possible, because I know this person dealt with probably 100+ entitled fucking idiots that whole day, and I want this to be the smoothest process for them. And I think the same thing is like for both sides, the tourists and the people that deal with the tourists. It's like, like the people blocking the Lawson sign that John Dobb was showing. It's like, and John Dobb posted, like, ironically, like, poking fun at that, like, oh yeah, they say you can't go to that Lawson's to take a fucking picture anymore. Well, guess what? 15-minute walk down the street, there's another Lawson's with the same fucking view. Like Japan could have made money off of that. They could have made that a tourist spot. They could have figured out a way to make some cash out of that, but they're like, nah, just temporary solution. I don't really want to deal with it. People are complaining. Just put up like a net and stuff so people can't take pictures from across the street. Yeah, but what about if the tourists just want to go in front of the net and then they'll be in traffic and they'll take pictures? Whatever. I mean, we did something, right? Who cares? It's like, nah, dude, like, make money, like, use this stuff, like, think of it as this isn't changing anytime soon. So how can Japan do this to make the least amount of complications for locals while maximizing profits, And, like, I didn't even get into the whole pricing and stuff for if foreigners should get, like, be charged more money and stuff for this. So, I don't know. There's actually, like, I only went down, like, maybe, I don't know, 3/4 of my list that I actually wrote down notes for this because I wanted to. That's the great thing about these recordings at my house is that, like, I can just sit down and I can be very, like, clear and just, like, talk out my feelies kind of thing, in this. And I think it's really helpful, It's really cool that, like, I can, when I'm on the bike, normally, it's very hard for me to keep focused. So I'm saving those bike rides just for random topics and shit. And, but, like, when I'm at home, like, I really want these to be very as clear-headed as possible so we can actually have, like, an adult discussion about this stuff. But, I don't know, guys. I mean, like, I'm not an expert in anything here. I've just lived here for a while. So, did you like this rant? If you made it all the way through, like, please fucking tell me, like, in the comments section. Just type in, you know, a white yellow car. Yeah, say some kind of fucking sentence with white yellow car in the comment section to let me know that you made it this far. And do you should I make like a part 2 to this, like a part 3 to this topic? I feel like I there's still a lot more to cover here, but yeah, did you guys think that my solutions aren't like realistic, or do you have other solutions that you can think of for this stuff? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. Let me know what's up. And anyway, yeah, thank you guys always so much for the support and checking out the channel. Who's still here in the premiere chat? Any of my hot gay sons in the premiere chat? Did you guys remember to smash that like button? Hell yeah. Appreciate you guys. Now, remember, at the end of each one of these rants, we do a live stream on my main channel, and I should be posting the link to that in the chat. And if you guys are listening to a recording of this, it should be in the comment section. Go over and say hi to me. We can talk about this video in real time right afterwards. So this is going to be really fun. And thank you guys so much again for showing support to the channel. If you haven't followed me on social media yet, go ahead. All the links are down below. And join the Discord. We got a really good group of people that are in and out of Japan. And it's just a nice group of hot-based boys and girls just chilling out and just having a good time and helping each other out. So, yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for engaging so these videos get seen more. And thank you for following the social media and everything. And yeah, if you guys have any other topics that you'd like me to cover, put them down in the comment section. I might actually make a video about it. So thanks again so much, guys. Y'all stay black, and I will see you on the next one.